bro, you mad, bro? Mike, you mad? I'm mad.
A little mad. I'm a little mad, but I got a lot off my chest last night, so I feel a little bit better. That was therapeutic last night, bro.
Yeah, for me last night, it was more therapeutic because I didn't yell and argue because it was the same thing over and over again. So what was the purpose? Like what was the point of yelling if it's the same thing?
Oh,
It's not like we changed up anything. They still had 13 missed tackles. Like it was
so what?
just it's the same thing. So I didn't want to waste my beautiful voice
Yeah, yeah. I
and
respect that.
yelling.
I
But
respect that.
to
And
each their own. If you yelled, you yelled.
now, well, oh no, no, no. It was emphatic speech. I'm not going
Ah,
to say that I yelled. I didn't scream. I didn't see any red
right.
lines on the meter. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do that. But I was in my bag. By the way, guys, if you guys didn't catch the Nothing But Niners overreaction show from yesterday, I'm not going to tell you guys to go back and watch the whole thing. We did presser breakdowns and all that stuff. But I will encourage you guys to go watch the first 30 minutes and the last 2 minutes. The first 30 and the last two of speech, because I always play the outro that you made for us. So that is how I usually end the shows. But listen to my final thoughts and listen to my opening. Just stay patient. I had to wait till the 8 minute came up and then I let go.
Mm-hmm. I
And then I
listen.
let go.
I'm gonna encourage them to just go and watch my whole show. At the end of the day, you just watch it. It was ebbs and flows, just like the 49ers have been this season. So like ups, downs, you know. But
Right.
I'm glad we're doing this episode because there are some things that I'm mad about. Like there's a lot, and part of it is the identity of the 49ers. Like I kept saying I don't think we reached our stride yet. I don't think we figured out exactly who we are yet.
Yeah.
Even after the 5-game winning streak, that has been my mantra. But now we're definitely like the man two face or whatever. Like I really don't know because I thought we was at least going to be dominant, execute all the basic things that 49ers football has been.
Hmm.
And so there's a lot of questions, man. A lot of things that I'm mad about. But listen, around the NFC West, Mike, the trade deadline is tomorrow. So tomorrow, hopefully, we're talking about some new 49ers.
I mean, the
Um,
the the division leaders are out there making moves.
they
Seattle
out there.
Seattle Seahawks out there making moves.
Yeah, but like, look, they last week Frank Clark, nobody likes him except for Seattle. They bring him back, edge rusher. Today they make a trade for Leonard Williams, which
Leonard
means,
Williams.
and this is the guy that gave us problems week 3, and so
And,
now we got to see him 2 more times.
and now, what do? Right? All of a sudden, teams are realizing, hey, we put some more pressure on Purdy. Oh, we can rattle this young man, right?
Right,
You build your team to beat the people in your division first. Because you
right.
win the division, you into the
You in the
dance.
playoffs, yeah,
Mm,
yeah. You
mm.
secure a
Okay.
spot, like
Okay.
So look, we'll break that stuff down. I'm sure tomorrow we'll be talking about at least one new 49er. Question is, will they alleviate some of the current 49ers? Ah,
So we watched the game together, right? Guys, by the way, this is the episode No Harm, No Foul. We want to thank you all for being in here, man. Make sure you guys subscribe to both channels, Wayne Breezy's channel over there, the Nothing But Niners channel over here. This is a joint daily partnership, man. And by the way, man, Wayne, I know you said you didn't think we was going to pull this off daily, man, but I am so proud of us, bro. Over a month
yeah.
strong doing this. I'm not going to lie to you, bro. This is a beautiful thing that we got going here. I love this. I love this. Absolutely. Round of applause. Round of applause. I like that, right? When you step back and you watch that game yesterday, forget all the other ones. Where's who? Give me the position that you hope that we make a move for.
I'm I'm stuck on the edge. I mean, I know everybody, or the consensus is it's the secondary, it's the cornerback. We need to be upgraded there. And I'm not mad at that. But we're still not winning on the edge. Like
You
we're
you weren't
not.
you weren't
We're not.
happy with the defensive line yesterday? I thought
I
the
said
defensive line was
I,
reminiscent of last year's
I
defensive
said
line.
the edge. So
No, I
like
know.
yeah, so like I mean overall the defensive line did what they needed to do because of the pressure from the edge, but you're still not concaving that pocket for these quarterbacks to step up in the pocket because Joe Burrow walked into a sack. Like he had no choice. And so
because
like
Bosa came around from behind him.
right, but we're not getting that consistently, Mike, which is my problem. So
Oh,
you got
okay.
it
I
one
see.
game, but you didn't get
You
it
want it
week
on both
one, week
sides
two.
at the same time. I see.
Absolutely. And so, like at the end of the day, like, yeah, Bosa is doing what Bosa needs to be doing, but what about the other end? Where's the speed? Where's that? So if quarterbacks are getting the ball out of their hand quick, then don't we need to be quicker on the edge? That's my thing. And so
Okay.
and the reason why I brought that up is Mike, Joe Burrow is was and is he has the quickest release to avoid pressure in the pocket. 2 seconds. We've been
Mm,
dealing with 2.3, 2.4,
mm,
2.5. We've been dealing with that, which is still quick as hell, right?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We had to deal with 2 seconds, and I
Yeah.
thought the defensive line did pretty good against a 2-second release quarterback. So imagine if we get the speed on the opposite side. Now you're
Okay.
rushing quarterbacks to throw the ball either quicker or second guess themselves to throw the ball. And that is when I feel like the defensive line will start sinking their teeth into the defense. And Bosa's still not winning his one-on-ones like he usually does. But they tire his ass out. They wear Bosa out, literally, not just from double teams, just from the way that they're attacking him. It's not an
Oh, okay.
excuse,
Okay.
but he still has to find a way to win those one-on-one matchups. Now his pressures, I thought was better. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, his pressures have been good all season long. That's not been the issue. The issue is sacking the quarterback.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with what you're saying there. I'm not mad at that take at all. One of the things that I liked, um, well, actually, forget what I liked. We talking about why we mad. What was Randy Gregory boarding for? Was he supposed to be the speed guy off the edge?
I mean,
He's not a strength guy.
it was a low risk, high reward type of dude. You were gonna bring him in here, and you were gonna see if he could win. But he he didn't play much in Denver this year, and he has some good pressures, but it for him Randy Gregory is not at the caliber of a Montez Sweat, a Daniil Hunter, even any of those guys that are out there that may be available for trade. They're just not.
I think
He's
that
just
there
not.
might be. You mentioned Daniil Hunter. I think there might be some Vikings players that might be available for trade now that their season
Correct.
is about to be packed up with Kirk on the sideline now.
They are looking to trade for Jameis Winston, but I mean, is that just to continue to develop Jordan Addison and those guys? Because you don't want to stop their development. So you bring in a big time thrower. If you win a couple of games, you win a couple of games. But Kirk
That
Cousins is
development.
done. Exactly. But you're developing because I don't expect Justin Jefferson to return now.
And that right there was the perfect segue to my first you mad.
Okay.
I'm mad at this team's development or lack of with the quarterback position.
Ooh.
Now I want y'all to hear me out.
Wait. What position? Because I think I said ooh.
Quarter QB.
I got you.
QB.
I said ooh. I just wanted to make sure.
This team, have you ever, think about this for a second. Have you ever seen a quarterback for the 49ers under Kyle Shanahan get better with time?
No, they always regress.
Not one.
They've
Not one
they
quarterback gets better.
they
This team
always
doesn't have.
regress.
I'm a big boxing fan, right? And
Okay.
I'm going to use. I started to use Mike Tyson as an example, but that's a little lazy. I can use him for people because they might not know who Deontay Wilder is, but Deontay Wilder is another heavyweight. He's current, right? Huge, 6'7", 6'8" dude, but very slim for his size. But he's got a mean right hand. That's his only punch.
So he
He's
packs
not
power.
He's not a boxer at all. He had a perfect record up until 2 years ago when he ran into Tyson Fury, right? He had a perfect record. And the difference between Tyson Fury and the other people that he was fighting was that Tyson Fury was a good skilled boxer. He's a big dude, similar in size, but he was a heavy guy, and he'll box your head off. I'm not going to sit there and let you just catch me with that overhand right that you got. Everybody else that Wilder fought They would hit him. He would take some hits, but then he would just clobber him. Boom, that one overhand right, and they go down. And it is probably the best right in boxing. Okay. What Wilder lacks is the ability to adjust. He doesn't have a counterpunch. He doesn't have good defense. You know what I mean? He just has one punch. That's how the Niners are with their quarterbacks, right? They start here and they don't allow these guys to develop a counter punch. Every quarterback, I don't care who they are, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, once the league adjusts to them, they have to then develop a counter to the league's adjustment to them. The Niners have never shown the patience to allow a guy to develop a counter punch. And that's what I'm mad about right now. That's what I'm mad about right now. Because
look,
I'm not out on Brock Purdy.
No.
I am not out on Brock Purdy, but we got to show some patience and let the kid develop a counter.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. But but we couldn't show. Okay, hold on.
We haven't shown anybody. You don't have to name nobody in particular. You can run down the whole list.
I could go down the whole list, but so now you're telling me now we got to develop the patience if that's something that our head coach and our organization hasn't shown to any quarterback. Now you're telling the faithful to develop patience?
I'm not I'm not telling the faithful. I think the faithful were in on Jimmy when Jimmy was a guy. I think the faithful were in on Trey when Trey was a guy. I think the faithful were in on Purdy.
But that's not the point. The point is you just said that we have to develop patience so he can learn a counterpunch. But none of the other guys got the opportunity to get the counterpunch.
And that's why I'm mad. We got to stop not giving the opportunity to develop the counter. That's my whole point.
You're talking about the organization.
Yes.
Right,
I'm mad at the coaches.
Right, but we can't be mad at us if they never showed that, hey, we're going to develop this guy. He's got to get more grit. He's got to get better out of there. You can't get mad if all we do is move from quarterback to quarterback. What if Kyle just can't develop quarterbacks?
Right. And I'm never mad at us, the faithful. I'm never mad at us, the content creators. I'm only ever mad at players who aren't doing their jobs and coaches who don't allow players to do their jobs the right way.
I wonder if Kyle at some point, because Brock's limited. Let's keep it a buck. He has his limitations. I mean, he wasn't gonna get drafted. Let's just keep it. Let's keep no cap, right? Brock wasn't getting drafted. The Niners drafted him. No harm, no foul, right? The Niners drafted him. I don't know if they took a leap of faith, but what we saw from Brock up until these past 3 games, in my opinion, have been great. I don't even think the bulk of what we're seeing from Brock and his regression or the downfall or trending down, or I don't even think it's personally all on Brock. I think and so if you want to be mad at that, then I'm going to be mad at the coaching, especially from the offensive side, to where development, just call a goddamn game plan and adapt and adjust if stuff don't work. How hard is it to say, shoot, this play ain't the right play, no problem. What happened to the printed screens, man? Throw the Microsoft Surface tablets outside in the trash and go back to the phonograph printed screens where it showed you the damn picture, because they did a lot better at adjusting when they was getting photographic pictures. I don't understand why Kyle Shanahan stops running the ball. We want to know why I'm mad? The run game. I'm mad. I'm mad that the run game is in mother freaking significant, because I don't get it. I don't get how you base your team off of running. Nobody and they mamas complain about this offensive line when Christian McCaffrey's running for 172 yards, 124 yards, 100 this many amount of yards. All of a sudden, now the offensive line is trash because Kyle Shanahan has shifted. You got George Kittle coming out, calling out Kyle Shanahan without saying Kyle Shanahan's name. And I'm wrong when I say the run game sucks. They not even running the ball. 23 carries on yesterday, and 6 of them was from Brock Purdy. What in the blood clot is that? How is Christian McCaffrey? I don't care if he got a broke penis. He needs to be running the ball. You're paying him $14 million. I don't care if he got to run it 25 times, 35 times, 45 times. Unless he broke, don't take him out. Put him in the game. And then if you do want to take him out, right? If you do want to take him out, you got a big guy named Jordan Mason, 6'1", 225 plus pounds, and he can run the ball in between tackles each and every time. He averages 6+ yards a carry, and he ain't played in the last 2 games against defenses that have adjusted to Brock Purdy because they put 5 people up front. At the end of the day, that's coaching. That ain't Brock. And that's my frustration.
I get you. I'm with you, y'all. Welcome to Monday Madness. That's what this is all about. Now, I'm going to keep going with that. More about my offensive frustrations right now. Why is it that the best wide receiver on the field can only get 5 catches a game in these 3 losses? Why is that?
Wait, say that again.
Why is it that the best wide receiver in these 3 losses can only get 5 catches a game? Sometimes you just got to force the ball to your good players when the game gets bad.
Doesn't every team do it? Every team. I watch AJ Brown. Jalen Hurts said, F it. You want to maybe that's on Brock. Maybe no. You know what? Maybe that's on Brandon Aiyuk. Let's talk about Brandon Aiyuk. I like Brandon Aiyuk. I love Brandon Aiyuk. I'm gonna need Brandon Aiyuk to develop the all dog because the inner dog is there. But he needs to develop the dog and say, listen, look, you the quarterback, throw me the ball. I'm always open. I'm 7-Eleven. I'm 24/7. I'm whatever it is that I'm open, like CVS with the one eye open. CBS, I need him to make sure he is telling his quarterback, throw me the ball. I don't know where that is. Aiyuk, stop being passive and stop dropping passes too. Stop being passive, stop dropping passes, and just demand the ball. Why not? He's always open, Mike. There's not a time.
We know why not, though.
No,
we know why not. He'll end right back up in that doghouse if he start telling the
quarterback. We somehow Nicholas said, okay. Now it's on. Now it's on. AJ Brown ain't AJ Brown if they don't throw him the goddamn ball. What are you talking about? Every time Aiyuk get the ball thrown to him, it's 20+ yards. That dude got 20+. That's explosive plays every time he get the ball. If we just throw him the ball, it's a bam, bam, first down. Thank you, ma'am. Come on, Nick. I know you watch the games, bro. I know you do. That's why I'm mad when he dropped that one pass that hit him in the face mask.
Which was behind him. He slid for it, smacked him in the face on his way to the ground.
You got to throw Aiyuk the ball. If that's the best playmaker on your best pass catcher, if that's your number 1 wide receiver and they can't defend it.
Come on. Because Jamar Chase had 10 catches yesterday. He ain't catch all of them.
And you know what he said to Joe Burrow? I'm open, always open like 7-Eleven.
Come back to me.
I'm always right open like 7-Eleven. And whoever felt that, he left it open too. He left it open. Now, I ain't telling Brandon Aiyuk to be a menace to society. I ain't saying none of that. You could do it in private. Tell your quarterback, throw me the damn ball. Shit, Keyshawn Johnson said it a long time ago.
Devontae Smith was out there those first 2 or 3 weeks for the Eagles going crazy. AJ Brown said, yeah, it's cool, we winning all that. I understand, but yo, bro, I'm here. Throw me the damn ball. He was over on the sideline while winning games, arguing with his quarterback. Hey, throw me the ball.
Right.
Throw me the ball.
And it was winning.
What they started doing?
They got 1 loss, bro.
Come on now.
And ever since then, all games 125 yards plus. Brandon Aiyuk had 100+ yards going into the third quarter. What happened?
Jamar Chase finished the game with 10 catches, 100 yards. Brandon Aiyuk had more yards on literally half the catches. Imagine if he could have got the 10.
That's why I said maybe Aiyuk. The part that's on him is he got to become the diva. He got to become that dog. He got to become that Michael Irvin. That listen, give me the ball. I don't care what
Mhm.
you. I don't give.
Mm.
I don't give if you. I don't care what the coach say. Throw me the ball.
Yeah, I
And
like it.
the only reason why I'm saying that, Mike, is because dang, when you watch the film, he's always open.
Always. Even people were talking about, oh, they stopped targeting him last week. Not this past
Not
game. Last week,
you
they
talk about
stopped targeting him last week
he
because
was open.
teams were
He was
bracketing him and all that stuff.
he,
I don't. The corner was behind him, and the safety
and they
was
say
over there. That means there
that's
was a window. There was a
that's
gap. He
that's
was still open.
or
We've
the
seen
quarterback.
Brock Purdy throw layered passes right in there over the DB's head, over the corner's head, in front of the safety, right to his target. He's open. Those plays were still open, bro. They were still open. Sorry, not sorry. And let's get off the offense a little bit. Let me tell you another thing I'm mad about. That nickel corner position.
It's the
That
worst. We have the worst nickel cornerback in the league, Craig. Here's what
and they
Isaiah
go
Oliver can do.
they gonna
He
say he
can
recovered a fumble.
he can tackle in open space. That's the only thing
Okay.
he can do.
Mm-hmm.
That's his one up. That's his gift to the 49ers. You know what? You know what? But he can't cover, Mike. He
Mm.
can't cover a bed. He can't cover. He is terrible. His spacing is off. He lacks the ability of the assignment. I don't like in zone and man, he has zero idea. Unless he's playing man, I don't think he has any idea how to play zone defense. That's not on that's not all on him. But
Come on now.
if you chose to do this job, you need to be working on it. That's on him. Getting better, that's on him. But he has zero concept of zone defense, Mike.
Yeah.
And if you
I
go
mean,
back to what he did in Atlanta last year, is that the fumble recovery you're talking about, or the interception he got?
I'm talking about this game. He had a turnover. He
Listen,
recovered a fumble, if I'm not mistaken.
I will say that, and he almost had an interception too. Look, I'm not testing like his quick, as far as reactive skills. Those are there. He almost had another pick too in this game, but he just he jumped it or timed it a little bit wrong. But at the end of the day, I I don't know what to do. The Mike, they're just the secondary is trash. The
I'm sorry.
secondary is trash.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not feeling it, man. I'm not feeling it. Mooney Ward, another one. He's another one. He's
I'm
another one that's bothering me.
He's too handsy. All of a sudden, he becomes Josh Norman. Like that's what we're doing. Seriously?
Oh man.
Two
Oh man.
the first he got the first penalty, and because we gave up a 3rd and 10, and people forget, even off that sack, we missed the sack. It was a first down anyway. It was a what was it, legal hands or a holding something. Either way,
Right.
it was a first down. Sack or no sack, I just wanted to bring Joe Burrow's behind down to the ground every single time.
Right. Right.
So
Rattle him a little bit.
defensively, the umph is missing, bro. The fire, the desire, the Rick James, it's gone.
And the missed beeping tackles. Can we stop with the fucking missed tackles, please?
13, Mike. 13? 13, Mike.
This 3-game stretch, I'm not exaggerating. I really think the Niners got over 40 missed tackles in these last 3 games.
No, they
bro.
got 32, but according to statistics, it's 32, but according to our eyes, it's 52.
It's
You
so
feel me?
bad.
It's
It's
terrible.
so bad.
It's terrible.
It's
It's
oh my
terrible.
god.
It's terrible. I don't
Mhm.
know. Mike, I don't know what was said to Dre Greenlaw, but whoever said it should be fired.
Ooh.
I think Dre Greenlaw just needs to go out there and be Dre Greenlaw. I don't give a fuck if he gets a penalty every fucking game for. I don't care if we lose the game on his penalty. He needs to just be himself.
And that's the thing. Trent Williams will get a penalty every game, but you know what we say? That's Trent
It's
Williams,
Trent
though.
Williams.
He's the best tackle in the NFL, so it's okay if
Super.
he gets that one a game, right? We don't mind that.
Wait, hold up, Mike, because you lying. You mind it. I try to talk you and walk you off the ledge, but you make sure when it's Trent Williams, Mike, we got to give him at least 10 more minutes of this episode because we got a lot that we mad at. Mike, when it's Trent Williams, Mike, you make
I
it
don't hold back.
no, absolutely not. I got to walk you off the ledge and remind you that he's still the best. But your point is he gets that pass because
Yes.
everything else he does outweighs that one penalty.
So let Dre get his one penalty in too.
I'm just saying,
If we
some
get that fire, if we
it's
get that spark
it's
from
missing.
Greenlaw every game for
It's
the
missing.
whole 32 minutes that defense is on the field, because the
It,
offense can't stay on the field. If we get that fire for 32 straight minutes,
did you just
I'm
say?
okay with the one penalty. Don't try to make this guy reel it in. What makes him special is the fight that he plays with, the physicality that he plays with.
I
Come
know
on
y'all
now.
heard that with some bass in it. That
Come on, man.
boy, I'm about to be crying. I we went from being let me another reason why I'm mad.
Uh-oh.
We went from being the bullies to getting bullied.
Come on.
I never once thought, and this is, I never once thought that we would get bullied. I thought our mentality was to take, not be taken.
Mm,
And I watched the 49ers defense. I
mm,
watched the 49ers offense. I
mm,
watched the head coaches all get
mm,
taken in three
mm,
games. I don't care how we lost in Cleveland. They were supposed to win that game. I don't care how they lost in Minnesota. They were supposed to win that game.
mm.
Now, this game was a question mark because we were going to go against an explosive, talented offense. And this really put our defense into perspective. It was almost like that Kansas City Chiefs game when the Niners got their tails whipped the day Christian McCaffrey was here with the team. Christian McCaffrey was a non-factor in this game, bro. He got his one touchdown, he tied the record, and that was it. Now they did utilize him in the passing game, but why not run the ball? Why not run the ball? You're paying him to be your running back. Why
Yeah,
not run the ball? And I don't mean run him right up into the gut of the defense. Don't run him into the 5-man front. Run him outside of the 5-man front.
right.
You mean to tell me as a head coach, this will always come back to the coaching. Players too. Players got to execute. But you mean to tell me as a head coach, as an offensive mind, you're telling me that you don't trust your all pro to beat the outside containment on the first play of the game, Mike? It was 8 yards. It should have been 9 yards the way he flipped forward.
Yeah, I thought it was 9, but that's cool.
It's
And then
cool.
what? And then
But
what happened?
then they ran up the middle, got negative yards or no gain, and then they passed and it was incomplete and it was 3 and out. That's game. That Mike,
Tone setter, right there, straight out the gate.
you
Straight
you're
out the gate.
at you're
We
you're
had
at
momentum. We had momentum on the very first play of the game and gave it right back to him. We
and
couldn't gain a yard and a half.
and can't blame him because he didn't fumble this time.
Not once. Speaking of fumbles, something else I'm mad about.
Oh,
And
shoot.
shout out to Akash for putting the words to paper, right? The 49ers have to stop failing in enemy territory. That's money. That's money territory, right? Between missed field goals and the turnovers in these last 3 games. I don't know if y'all have seen these numbers or not, but they're bad. They're bad. Turnover, Cleveland 36. I'm sorry, that was a missed field goal. Turnover on Cleveland's 23. Minnesota's 15. Minnesota's 22. Minnesota's 49. Minnesota's 40. Cincinnati's 8. I'm going to say that again, just in case y'all. The 8. And Cincinnati's 26. Those are crippling areas of the field to miss field goals or lose the ball. By the way, you take those 8 situations and just turn them into 3 points, and guess what happens in all those games?
That's 24 points, Mike. You win all those games, Mike.
We win all those games.
I
Come on, man. Come on, man.
but
Come on, man.
so that I can't put on the coach. That's execution.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I'm not just blaming the coaches here. Oh, this blame going around. This is
That's
going around to everybody.
so that I'm mad at the players, right? Too, because Number one, the players are lacking the fire. Number two, they're just not executing, period. I don't care if it's offense, special teams, defense. They had two special teams returns for like 40 plus yards in this past game. That ain't what the freak? What is going on? And if Jake Moody can't kick the ball into the end zone, like I'm not sure if that's what he's being told not to do. See, I don't know certain things.
You mean Wisnowski?
No, because Jake
Oh, you
Moody's
on
done the
kickoff? You on
kickoff.
kickoffs? Oh, you talking
Yeah.
about kickoff? Okay.
Yeah, like he'll kick it in the end zone on one play, then he won't do it on the next play. Is that him? Or is that his assignment? Is he told to kick it a certain way? We don't know those answers. What we do
Yeah.
expect him to do though is kick the ball through the damn upright, which he was for 100%. So good. Jake Moody seems to be fixing himself. He didn't miss, right? But he only had one opportunity. Should have had a couple more, but we kept turning the ball over.
Hmm.
Kept turning the ball over. So let's talk about Brock Purdy.
Uh-oh. We back to this.
I don't feel like we ever really talked about him. As a
I'll say it.
Okay.
Okay, never mind. Go ahead. You
No,
got
you
it. Go
got
ahead.
it. You got it. You got it. I asked
the
you the
league-
question. See.
The league has figured him out. And that's okay.
But didn't
It's
we say
supposed to
that was
fig-
going to happen?
It's supposed to happen with any starting quarterback in the NFL. I don't care if you're Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Patrick
Exactly.
Mahomes, whoever. It doesn't matter. You haven't played a full 16 yet. The league is going to adjust to you. They're going to figure you out. And this goes back to what I was saying about letting this kid develop a counterpunch. We got to let him develop a counterpunch. But he can't just falter. He can't just fold now and be like, okay, well, it's over. They figured me out. That's it.
But that's not what he does. That's not what it is. I know those are the results. Damn it. I can't even bash him without sticking up for him. I know those are the results, right? But he's trying. He's trying. But he makes critical mistakes at the worst opportune times.
Mm.
So let's talk about the first turnover. The interception.
At the 8-yard line to
Oh,
Elijah
yeah.
Mitchell.
Oh yeah. He tried to, and let's keep it a buck. He tried to make a play, right? But he effed up the play from the jump. It was supposed to be a shovel pass, and he missed it. He missed the opportune window.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he forgot, and as a quarterback, you can't forget what the play is. And
Right.
because of that particular ad lib, he ended up throwing a pick. And luckily, it wasn't a pick six.
Yes. Because I thought my man was gone. I thought he was gone. Usually on an interception, the quarterback is the last line of defense, right? Just like on the kickoff, the kicker's the last line of defense, right?
Dude.
The person delivering the ball is usually the last line of defense, unless you got a speedy receiver coming from the opposite side that just takes the angle. I thought my man was gone. Not gonna lie to you. I thought he was gone.
I feel like the decline of Brock, though, is because of one player.
You about to hit me with this whole we not an offense without Deebo thing? Is that what you about to do?
I'm about to do it. Either we're not an offense without Deebo or Kyle can't coach football. Kyle Shanahan offense is based off of scheme, right? And mismatches.
Misdirection. Yeah.
Misdirection. Anything with the word misfits, misdirection, whatever.
Tackles.
That's dope. That's dope. Right.
It's the misfit offense. That's what it is.
It's the misfit offense, right? So at the end of the day, if that one player, it's one player. It's Mike, I hate you too because you will pull up stuff out of nowhere. Nobody even be thinking. Mike and our group chat, right? Gonna put up about Deebo Samuel, right? Mike gonna be like, yo, this dude played 7 games in college. And I wanted to respond and say he had one hell of a Senior Bowl, though, Mike, because that's why he got drafted by the 49ers. So obviously he had injury issues, and even in college, right?
He sure did.
But you know what he also has? The gift to make this offense tick when he's available. And I'm wondering, I'm not saying that Deebo is the security blanket of Brock Purdy, but man, the screen game is gone. I mean, gone, Mike. I mean, what's the extension of a run play?
Yeah.
So if they put 5 people up front, Brock is used to checking it down to who? Deebo. He don't feel comfortable with with Ray McLeod. Jawan Jennings just ain't got the damn speed. George Kittle not the same on screens. He's a little slower. Like if Deebo isn't there, that's the one guy because you just said missed tackles. What does Deebo 9 times out of 10 do? Make people miss. And
Mm-hmm.
in this offense, the fact that, and this is something that our brother Tony brought up, the fact that you can run 21 personnel as your base on offense, right? That's 2 running backs, 1 tight end, but you can interchange who you have at running back. So you could put Deebo in the backfield. He's not counted as a running back, and you still got juice on the field.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
Kyle's missing that. Like, how do you replace that? You can't. There's not a player in this league that's Deebo Samuel. And the only way you could try something to beat Deebo is like if he's gonna be more injured than what we're expecting, Mike, then I'm gonna need him. I'm gonna need the Niners to say F everything else. Go get Cordarrelle Patterson. See what the Falcons want for him because he's the only other guy. And with him, you get a bonus because now you get a real return
A
guy on
return
special
guy,
teams.
a real return guy. Yeah, and I remember, the whole Jalen Hurd and Deebo thing, right? Like I thought, wow, that's going to be a really nice interchangeable 1-2 punch. Former running back turn wide receiver, right? That's Jalen Hurd. Just didn't work out for
It
him. But
didn't
I
work
saw
out.
what the plan
I
was. You
got
could
you.
see it. You could see like, oh, Kyle's got something that he wants to do, right? And now here we are. We can honestly acknowledge that was part of Kyle's plan. He wanted to create that mismatch with the personnel for me. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's what he wanted to do. But Kyle gotta have a counter also. I can't just sit here and say that the quarterback's got to develop a counter. Kyle's got to develop a counter as
Yeah.
well.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
The offense can't fall apart because Deebo's not here. And like you said, if that is the case, then that means Kyle can't coach. That's what you said.
Yeah. Let me take that back. Let me amend that. Kyle can't adjust.
Okay. Okay. I like that. That's better because Kyle is a really, really,
He's a
really
he's
good
a he's
coach.
a great ass coach. He just
Mm-hmm.
can't adjust. If
Okay.
his offense, okay, let's go back to Kyle Shanahan because Kyle Shanahan is moving X's and O's, and he's like Minority Report, right?
I was thinking a beautiful mind, all that
Even
writing in the
better. He's
window.
Beautiful
You know what I'm
Mind. I like
saying?
that. I just didn't know we was going to talk about him. All right. Is that Russell Crowe? Beautiful Mind? Yeah. All
Well
right.
done, baby.
Here we go, right? So if Kyle Shanahan is doing this and one piece of that equation is missing, those complexes, I always ask you, have you watched that show Monk and he had that complex of stuff being in order?
Mm-hmm.
That's Kyle.
Yeah.
And if
Yes.
the offense ain't in the right order with the right pieces, Kyle struggle
He'd be like,
goes.
don't touch me.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. And so look, all I'm saying is, all I'm saying is, Kyle has to figure out. He could do one or two things, and I think doing this now is going to be almost impossible. He's going to have to change his philosophy, right? And this might lead into tomorrow's episode because tomorrow it will be cool to discuss the infrastructure of the
Mm.
49ers. Is it better to have these skilled players or is it better to freaking stock the offensive line so your quarterback will have some time and things like that to make plays?
I like it. I think that's what we're going to leave y'all with right there. We told y'all while we were mad.
I
We
feel like I got
smiling at the
so
end.
much more though.
Keep going. I ain't in a rush. I ain't
I
got
just
no
I,
ballet tonight or nothing. What's up?
I'm
What's
just
up?
I'm just I'm mad, Sway. Like how you go 5-0? How do you destroy a team and their whole persona and now that team better than your team record-wise? Was that our Super Bowl?
We
Was
were
beating
supposed to expose them.
was beating Dallas our Super Bowl? Was that the game?
That was supposed to be their Super Bowl, not ours. We used to beating them. That was
But
nothing new.
but how all of a sudden it became ours because did we score too many points against Dallas? You know what I think it is? We took our players out. And now the NFL guys is like, y'all should have beat the brakes off them cats. Y'all took them players out. Last time we took players out, what happened? I'm just saying.
Okay.
Maybe Kyle's being punished.
I mean, it's listen, karma, energy,
It's
all
real.
that stuff. It's real.
It's real.
It's real. And right now, there's just there's just something's off. Now, unfortunately, and fortunately at the same time, we're going to turn it around. That's the fortunate part. Unfortunately, the turnaround is likely to happen once Deebo gets back and Trent gets back, and everyone's going to say, "See, guys, there's no problems as long as we stay healthy." But we haven't played a team that has all their starters a single game this year. We can't be dependent on everybody being there, especially when you guys are going to tell me that the main cog is a guy who's frequently injured since college.
I think, because Symmetry says we won without him last year. Yes, we can win games without Debo. But we're not taking into account that defenses are now more prepared when Deebo ain't out there, and they're actually teeing off on how to take away Christian McCaffrey in the run game, right? Which I still think you can run with a 5-man front. Like I just think you can do it. It's not ideal, it's not traditional, but you mean to tell me we're not creative enough to figure that out? Hell, George Kittle even said outside zone. Like, why don't we
Yeah,
just run outside zone? I didn't think George was going to throw Kyle under the bus. That's how I
you got
know.
2 weeks in a row with the star
She
players on each side of the ball
calling out their coaches.
calling out their coaches,
Hmm.
right? Nick Bosa said, "Well, we used to be a 4-man rush team, but that ain't the plan this year."
See, Mike, you think I don't
Kittle
be
said,
listening? You think I
"Come
don't
on,
be paying attention, yo? Man,
come on, man."
I thought Nick was more subtle. Kittle was blunt. Kittle was me. Nick Bosa was you.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? You gonna
yeah,
say it, but you got to figure it out. Kittle was just said
mm-hmm,
outside zone. Just
yeah,
we can't get to the outside. I like to block.
mm-hmm, yep.
We can instill our physicality when we run outside zone. I just look, Mike. Is there a way that there can be like some type of a tyranny going on? Like, can the players be that frustrated? Can the play like they're 5-3? Do you sense frustration in the players, and they're just not performing and
You know,
executing to their ability because they're frustrated?
this is a really good point, right? Success breeds complacency, right? And we got some super chats piling up. We're gonna get to y'all. We see them. Don't worry, guys. We see y'all. But success breeds complacency. If I think I'm the best, I'm not as. It takes a special person to still be encouraged to be better if you're already the best. When you're the best, a lot of the times, if you're an average person, you say, just keep doing what I'm doing. It's clearly working. Maybe, perhaps, that 5-0 start was allowing these guys to say, hey, look, we just got to keep doing what we're doing and everything is going to be fine. No, because everything you did well in those 5 games that you won, teams are now planning to try to take away.
Mm-hmm.
That's the counter that the NFL is going to give you. That's
Mm-hmm.
what they're going to do,
Mm-hmm.
right? We don't have the luxury of teams trying to figure out Brock anymore, right? He goes in for Jimmy in Miami. Miami says, we're going to blitz the hell out this guy.
We
We're going to
gotta
get after him. And he made him pay. Okay,
right,
well, that ain't the way to do it.
right.
What if we put a whole bunch of people in the backfield, only rush 3 or 4, and then he won't have throwing windows? And then all of a sudden we did the Yak Bro thing, right? We made them, okay, y'all want to send everybody that way? We're going to throw closer to the line of scrimmage. We're going to tear
Under
y'all up.
underneath and let the
Okay, so then that ain't the way either. So
mm,
that ain't the way. And now that's what's happening. That's what's happening. It's this constant chess thing, right?
that's
But when you lose, right? When we were 3-5 last year or the year before, when we were
last
3-5,
yeah,
there was a hunger.
year
There was
before.
a natural desire to get better. But now that you're sitting here 5-3, you know what everyone's saying? Well, we've been in worse positions at this point in the season before. We'll get it
Three
right.
we were 3-5. We were 4-4 last year.
Right. Right. We've
Hmm.
been in worse positions through 8 games before, and we finished just fine. I don't want to hear we finished just fine. That's something I heard in the presser by George Kittle that I didn't like. Fred Warner. Fred Warner. I did not like hearing that. No, we were worse off before, and we finished just fine. Don't talk to me about how you finished just fine. That is a reflection. That's a reflection. We also won the Super Bowl in 1994. We also won the Super Bowl in 1989. What that got to do with today? Don't tell me about what you did before.
Right.
Has nothing to do with anything.
None of that should matter.
Exactly.
That's why I said maybe, maybe were they distracted? Was having that Hall of Fame team in the building, could that possibly have caused some type of a distraction? You're saying no. I feel like it's possibility. Now you're playing under some type of a pressure, like, damn, we got to impress these guys, whatever, whatever, whatever. Especially for the more weak-minded players, because there's some out there. There's some players that are just influence, and there's some players that are leaders, right? And so, like, it could be a possibility that ain't the way. The Niners needed to get rid of any distraction and focus on football last night. And you know what they weren't? They weren't focused. You can't
Mm-mm.
tell me that they were focused. They
No,
made
they weren't.
too many mistakes, had
Mm-hmm.
too many penalties again, too many missed tackles, blown opportunities, too
Yeah.
many turnovers. Like, tell me how they were the more focused team. Cincinnati Bengals had one penalty, bro, and it came on a play that Brock Purdy may have got concussed on.
And that's the other thing that's making me mad too. I
Oh,
know. I
yeah.
know that
Okay. We can end on this. I was waiting for it, though, bro. I was
y'all are
waiting.
not. Y'all are not going to blame this kid's faults and woes on
Off an
concussions.
injury. No, please don't. Please.
Y'all not going to do that every time. I'm
Or
sorry.
or the elbow either. Just throw the injury
Every
stuff out.
time he mess up, right after the game, he probably had a concussion. 2 weeks in a row. Miss me with that. Sorry. Not.
Like,
I don't want to hear it every time he messes up. Brock Purdy's human. That's the fact of the matter.
there you
He
go.
makes mistakes.
Mistakes.
Period. He's
Period.
allowed to make mistakes.
For
We
sure.
don't want to see him, but he makes mistakes.
we're not used to seeing them.
Right. Because
because
the
we
adjustments weren't there.
because Brock was kind of built like a machine. He wasn't making mistakes, and because he wasn't making mistakes, you have people feel like this guy is a machine. He's a Terminator. He is a robot. He is artificially simulated. He is all of these things, artificially intelligent, whatever, because he wasn't making the mental errors. But you know why though? And I know people don't want to hear this. It's because he had a safety net and a Deebo Samuel, who was a guy that could catch a short pass and do something with it. I don't care if it went for
We got
1
two of 'em.
yard, 2 yards, 3 yards. And Kyle Shanahan, you can't line Brandon Aiyuk up in the behind the line of scrimmage. You did it his rookie year, and he was highly successful. I know you don't want him running up the middle, but you can't figure out something to get Brandon Aiyuk is your best player. Best players do best things. But if that's preventing him, if Brandon Ayuk is having PTSD of going back into the doghouse, then I gotta cut him a bone there. I gotta throw him a bone there.
One more thing that makes me mad. Something that the Niners prided themselves on the past 3 or 4 seasons was accountability. Right? The standard that we have within the building, within the locker room. Forget what you see on the field. Now, I don't know what's going on in the locker room, but 2 weeks in a row, I have heard leaders of the defense go to the podium and say, well, that's on me. I heard Nick Bosa say, Fred Warner and myself like to take the brunt of the blame. That's not accountability. Now, hear me out. Let me be clear. That's accountable for that one individual. But what Fred Warner can't do is be accountable for Dre Greenlaw.
Facts.
For Javon Hargrave.
Facts.
For Eric Armstead.
Facts.
For anybody else. He can only be accountable for himself. But what you're supposed to do as a leader is hold others accountable.
Correct.
Everybody's accountable for how they perform individually. Leaders are accountable for how people perform around them. That's holding those guys accountable.
And I said last night that that's their job.
Yes.
That's the leaders, that's the captain's job to hold their players accountable. That's their job. Their job isn't to rah, this, that, and the third. That just comes with whoever the personality of the captain is. Their job is to hold those players accountable. Myself, Peachy, Mose, we sat there and talked about it. Look, you got to look, that ain't the way. Dre, you better than that. Dre, get. Can you imagine Patrick Willis, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed? Those guys would have this defense number one. You know why? I throw another person in there, Richard Sherman. I'll throw Earl Thomas in there. I'll throw leaders in there. You know what those leaders did? Hold the rest of those players accountable, bro.
And they didn't wait till the game to be over to do it either.
Absolutely, they did
How
it
many
right.
times do you recall seeing huddles on the sideline during the Niners' good years in the early 2010s, right? How many times did you recall seeing that happen even the last 3 or 4 seasons? Now, how many times have you seen it this year? We
It
don't
can't.
even have a defensive coordinator to motivate the team on the sideline.
No.
He's upstairs in the booth talking on a receiver like it's 1983. Hello? It's a wired headset he's talking on when he calls down to the field. It's got a cord. When's the last time you seen a phone with a cord in real life, y'all? My kids don't even know what that looks like. My kids don't know what a phone with a retractable bungee cord looks like. They would see that thing and think it was a fucked up slinky.
But they know what a slinky looks like.
Of course they know what a slinky
So
looks
then
like.
that's your fault. They don't know what a phone cord looks like.
Oh, so I'm supposed to have dial up in here just to teach a fucking lesson?
You ain't gotta have dial up, but you could say, "Hey, this used to be your phone." I mean, you got a slinky. That shit older than the phone cord.
They still make it, but
Mike,
they
you
look cool
can't
now.
get nothing over on me. Them slinkies is trash now, bro. Because they used to be made out of metal.
They're
They're
terrible.
plastic.
You squeeze on them too hard, they don't go back to form no more. Now
you
your
bend them
slinky
a little bit?
like that. You got this random ass bump in it. They terrible. And my daughters get all upset. Daddy, can you fix it? I'm not ironing this shit. No, I can't fix it. I don't have the press over here to fix
Everyone
your
wants a slinky. We gotta get a slinky, slinky, slinky. Go, slinky, go.
But my point is, there's no accountability during the game, on the sideline, in between drives. I don't see it. Let me not say it's not happening. Let me correct myself, because what we used to see is the live game feed, right? They would come back from a commercial break, and we were so good at holding each other accountable, right? During the last couple of seasons, and during that 2011 to 2013 season, they used to come back from commercial and be like, "Look at Fred Warner getting these guys. Look at Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman talking to his team," right? They don't come back from commercial breaks and say that shit no more.
You know the difference though, Mike, because we are so nostalgic. But the issue is the change of the generation. You know, you can't talk to people a certain kind of way without them getting their feelings hurt or getting affected. I don't understand how you can play football and think about feelings. Like you're supposed to be a, pardon my French, but the KILLER word. Like that, like
Yeah.
it's either that or be KILLED. Like at the end of
Yeah.
the day, like you're playing a job where your life can be taken. So
Yeah.
you either gonna take it in the respectful way, or you're gonna be taken. All I'm saying is, Mike, that's changed.
Yes, sir.
I had I, I had to walk away. I walked away from teaching not because I wanted to do this full time. I felt like it was a lot of stuff changing that I didn't think was going to benefit the children too much. What's the word? Not babysit, but too much leniency,
Hand holding,
too much
coddling.
Yeah, like nah. How we gonna teach them to be tough? The real world don't coddle you.
Right. What are you supposed to do when there's one position and 12 applicants?
Cry?
You got to take that on the chin and realize, hey, this one ain't gonna come to you.
I got to try hard. I got to go back out there, do it again, sign up, get better, have a better. Yeah, like and so to me, I had to take a step back so I can reflect and be like, I don't know if that's what I want to do because I don't even baby my children. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm not I don't do that. I give it to them raw. Like what you crying for? All right, you can have feelings, but let's talk about it. Like what is that? You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, Mike, I'm wondering if the generation of change is different. And you know, this is a Steve Wilkes. Maybe that's something that he changes. Maybe he comes out of the booth and says, "Hey, I need to be down there on the field. I
You know
need to
why he's
be."
up in the booth.
I don't
You know
know.
why he's up in the booth. He's a lifetime secondary coach. He needs to see his guys from above.
Oh,
That's
yes,
how he
schematic
is
way. Yeah,
wired.
I got
That's
you.
how he's wired.
I understand that, but then he needs to hire somebody on that field
It's not
to
his
get
fault, bro.
to get. Huh?
It's not his fault.
It's not
It's
his
not his
fault that
fault.
he's been wired that way.
It's not his fault what's happening with this defense.
Are you saying that for real, Mike? Are you saying that so you
I'm
could
dead
reel
ass.
me in to come back and tell me it's his
No,
fault?
I'm dead ass. Steve Wilkes was brought in here to run a defense he knew nothing about.
Correct.
Keep the ball rolling. And
Correct.
I said it from the day we hired him, guys. I don't know about this one here.
Yep.
We'll see, but I don't know about this one. But this ain't about patting myself on the back, right? If you wanted to keep the ball rolling, you should promote from within and let the ball continue rolling. You can't have a guy and say, hey, you're allowed to have your own thoughts. You're allowed to have your own imprint on this defense, but don't change nothing. That's
Yeah.
an oxymoron.
It is. That's
Wayne,
yeah.
I want you to make my spaghetti with my ingredients. Don't add anything else to it, but put your own touch on it. So
Yeah,
what are your options? You gonna separate the sauce from the pasta?
no, I'm gonna say F you and I'm gonna make it my way. But that's me. But at the end of the day, you're 100% correct. And I've been preaching that, like, okay, the Steve Wilkes from time to time calls the wrong play. Absolutely. Every coach does. Those he takes on the chin. Does he learn from it? That's the question. But the way this defense is playing is not Steve Wilkes. Don't tell me Steve Wilkes is making this defense play soft. I know we had that conversation and you talked about gap integrity and things like that. Okay, that could be an issue. It could be. But what the that got to do with players executing? Like at the end of the day, the mindset, in my opinion, and you have Fred Warner and George Kittle said that the mindset ain't different. Well, it sure looked different on the football field.
Oh, we about to go in a lot of overtime if I respond to that. So I don't know if you want me to respond. It's up to you. I'm not in a
Nah,
rush. I
I'm
don't.
ready to go. I'm done.
Okay. Well, then I'm
Can
gonna let
somebody
that go.
tell me
But
how to do?
That will come back to tomorrow's show about infrastructure.
Can somebody tell me how to do a skilled dunk in NBA 2K24? I'm stuck and I can't go. I gotta go
I
to
tell you what, while
rehearsal.
you waiting for that answer, pop these 3 super chats up. Let me read these real quick. I don't know if we actually read them. Daryl, thanks for the super chat. He says, please speak on it, family. And I think we did. Is that Fozzie?
That is Fonzie.
Waka waka.
Is
All
it
right,
Fozzie
cool.
or Fonzie? It's Fozzie, right?
Fozzie. Fonzie was
Was the hey?
a
Yeah, I
yeah,
got you.
that's Sunday, Monday, happy day.
Happy days.
Keith Murphy in the building. What's going on? He says here, why was the offense fine without Deebo last year, but not now? And I have a theory on that if
I
y'all
have a
really want to know.
I have a theory too, but we have to tell them they pay for super chat contributions. So let's give the theory.
It's the rotation of quarterbacks. Now you got too much to focus on how to adjust, right? If only one thing changes, then now we got to fix that one thing. That's my opinion, right? You go from Trey in 2 weeks, Jimmy for 6 weeks, and then Purdy for the rest. While Deebo was in and out of that lineup throughout that duration, you can't just focus on him. You got to figure out what this quarterback's do's and don'ts are. Well, now you don't have that luxury of figuring out what the quarterback's do's and don'ts are. We know what they are now. And now that Deebo's not here, that's one element of the game that we don't even have to worry about. We got the quarterback figured out, and now Deebo's not there. That aspect is going away. Now we can pin our ears back and go get him. That's why we can be fine without him last year, because teams are still trying to figure out, well, who is this Niners team? Like it was too many questions at that point. My opinion.
And just to piggyback off of your opinion, I mean it's simple. You take away a playmaker, you take away a guy, and yeah, it worked a little bit last year. It worked. They were able to win some games without Debo Samuel, but now you're focusing in on that one guy, like Mike said, and Debo ain't there. Now you can go ahead and focus on it. So it does look like Debo missing. The 49ers offense is finding it's a tough time to flow. And what is Brock Purdy best known as? Rhythm. And if Brock
Rhythmic
Purdy can't get into rhythm,
timing.
timing. That's
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan. That's why I said maybe after this season, he takes a reflection and say, hey man, maybe I need to change some things up.
Right.
Possibly, I don't know.
Yeah. We have to see. We have to see. Kyle Shanahan said something at his presser yesterday, and I know that we're in the super chat segment, so we can get out of here. But he said that he did say everyone needs to play better, coaches got to coach better, and all that. He said the right things when it comes to that. He also said I believe all the answers are in the building. And they asked about potential trading and all that stuff. And that's kind of when he got to it. He says nothing that's happened is changing the trades that we were looking into hasn't changed any of that. But then he, in my opinion, contradicted himself, saying all the answers are in the building. Which one is it? Is it that we have been looking at trades and we are still looking to improve the team, which they should? That's what the pro pro the pro scouts jobs are. You know what I mean? Like their jobs are to look around the league and see who can help. That's what their jobs are. So people are doing their jobs. But is it not a contradicting statement to say the answers are in the building, but we're still looking to trade? Don't
No, yeah.
We could talk about it during the infrastructure show. We could talk about it.
I mean, yeah, okay, because the answers could be in the building, but they're always looking to improve. So hey, you could be the answer in the building, but I can add more depth, or I could get another piece with the trade and still have the answer. What if the answer's in the building is just underdeveloped? I don't know.
Or
I'd be
or
thinking
not ready
way
for a full game. I get you. Okay. Okay.
yeah,
I feel you. That was a good answer.
and
All right.
that's a Kyle answer though.
Yeah.
That's a Kyle answer.
Mm-hmm.
He dumb like that.
Keith Keith Murphy says here again. Thanks again for the super chat. He says here, I think losing Trent hurts more than Deebo.
Yeah, like I mean, not having your best pass blocker, run blocker on the football field. Okay, cool. That and maybe that's why we were able to win games without Deebo. They both weren't missing at the same time. So this is valid. This could be valid, but I just have issues with the coach not being able to adapt and find ways to get his quarterback into some type of a rhythm.
Infrastructure.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think one more came in here. It's a little weird question, but we'll bust this one down really quick. What were your predictions for the 49ers versus Bengals game?
All right, so my predictions, I had us losing this game. But I also didn't have us losing 3 in a row. So like if I go back to our season before season schedule predictions, before everything was set, for we had all our pieces and all that type of stuff, I had us losing back-to-back games, Mike. I'm sorry. I had us losing the Minnesota on the road, and then coming back home and losing one to Joe Burrow and the crew. I just
I
did.
remember being mad at you saying we're going to lose before the bye week, but I remember that. I remember that. Very good.
But I did
Very
have
good.
us losing to the Browns, so I actually had us at 6-2 by the bye week.
Right. My memory is not as good as Wayne's to know what I said at the very beginning, but I do know that going into the game, I expected to see an improved defensive line.
There you go.
I think we got that. I think the front four looked better because there was significantly less blitzing. I think that's something that we can ride into the future.
Yep.
I think that did play out. I did have us winning this game in dominant fashion, though. And when I say dominant, I thought that the Niners were going to say, all right, Brandon Aiyuk is doing good. We got to get him involved more consistently throughout the entire game. I didn't see that happen. I was wrong there. I thought that we were going to see Mitchell hang it up and they were going to fully commit to Mason. I was completely wrong about that. And I thought that we were going to get Christian McCaffrey. He went out there last week. We dealt with the rib injuries. He went to the podium and said, don't matter. Don't ask me how my ribs feel. It's not important because if I'm on the field, I got to put my best foot forward. And I thought a week after that, he was going to come in feeling even more so that way. And I thought the run game was going to be really good. I was wrong about that. Do you know who our leading rusher was yesterday?
Brock Purdy, 6 for 57.
No team is safe when the Niners are on the prowl. I'm Mike. That's Wayne. And this is No Harm, No Foul. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.
This motherfricker. Just wait for it. There it is. Love you, Bam Bam. Mike was like, what?
How did you see that before me?
Because I got my browser open for watching it live as we stream. He says, Mike, I absolutely agree with you about Greenlaw. Let him be who he is. As far as Wilkes players play, he can coach better, but the DC ain't the reason. Bosa got paid and went missing.
And that's not true. Come on, see, y'all gonna. That last part is not true.
I
That last part is not true.
I think it
We
is
have
true. I think when you think about it, you're paying Bosa to be dominant, right? And so you're you're expecting Bosa to be able to adapt to new plays, new scheme, new whatever. So like from your theory, Mike, if it's the same theory that we talked about a couple of days ago, I understand where you're coming from. But I don't think like everybody else that we don't see it just that way. Cuz your thing is a theory. That's not it doesn't mean it's true. It's just something that could possibly be the answer, right? But Bosa ain't winning his one-on-ones. I don't give a fuck what you say. I know he not winning one-on-ones. He ain't winning none of them yesterday. And so like one-on-ones, he might have got pressure. He might have pushed back and got Eric Armstead a sack, but winning one-on-ones, look, he might have won one yesterday. All I'm saying is consistently throughout this season, he hasn't been winning those. And that could just be due to the fact he wasn't ready, right? And so I think that if I'm speaking for the Nick Bosa committee and why is he going south this year as far as sacks, I do want to make that clear because that dude is killing the league in pressures, like killing, like
okay.
top one. So as far as sacks,
I'm glad you
which
acknowledge that part.
I do, but as far as sacks, they're not. He's not producing, and the people keep saying sacks don't matter, Mike. And that's what's killing me. It's killing me that sacks don't matter because when we get sacked, we can't get a first down. If we sack a quarterback, potentially they might not be able to get the first down. So like, I think that's what it is more. I'm sorry.
You know, the sacks don't matter if the pressures affect the passes. We
Right.
get the pressures, but the quarterbacks step up and still complete the passes and get
Complete
the
the
first down.
passes. I said
So
sacks.
so that's where the big difference is, right? The pressures are measured by an eye test, but do you affect the throw? Are you affecting the timing of the offense, right? If you can get a pressure, if you could push a lineman into the lap of the quarterback and force an errant throw, and it's just an incomplete pass, that's as good as a sack on third down. I'll take that on third down.
But we're not getting that,
But we're
Mike.
not doing that. So the pressures, the type of pressures we're getting aren't affecting the game that way. Yeah, we get the quarterback off his mark and he moves, a hurry, a hit, a pressure, but they're still completing the passes. We're letting teams convert 3rd and 12 like it's nothing on us. But I'll get into the other stuff later. I don't want to prolong. I saw like 2 more super chats come in, so it's
Did they?
fine.
All
I
right.
will say this. A team cannot, a player can't go out and do what he wants to do on the defensive line if he has to be aware of the
Let's see
gaps
that.
that somebody else is filling. That's not an opinion. That's a scheme. It's just a scheme.
And so like I I can't I can't disagree with you on that, but players can adjust. So like you saying that they can't do something because if that one player so what you're saying is they ain't getting no more shows this week. So what you're saying is that um that the defense is almost like the offense. Is that what you're getting to, alluding to? Okay, I'll break it down. On the offensive side, it's schematically based, right? Typically, players don't have to win one-on-ones because they're schemed to get open. They're schemed to be in a spot. The quarterback gets the ball to the spot. Whatever the playmaker does with the ball, that's on them, and we keep chains moving. On the defensive side, is it turning into like a schematic look from your view on the defense like the offense? Like, is it turning into that? Does Nick Bosa can he only do what the scheme is telling him to do so the other player can tee off?
Only on certain plays, yes.
Okay.
If a blitz is coming from the side that Bose is on, he can't get too wide because
So
he's
then you
leaving a gap.
so you
He
have to
can't get too narrow because the player has to squeeze into that blitzing lane that's supposed to be by design.
so you have to
So
specify that, and you didn't
you're right. You're handcuffing him to a position
on blitzes.
specifically on blitzes. Yes. Now there
Okay.
have been other
Okay.
opportunities where
So
he hasn't lived up to
what
his.
has been my argument then?
He's not winning his one-on-ones.
And
You've been
I'm gonna
maintaining
stand
that.
by
Yeah,
that.
that's fair.
That's the decline in Bosa.
That's
So
fair.
you're right.
And so are you.
Take us home. We're not done till the chat says we're done. We done. Go ahead, Mike.
Oh, I'm saying it again.
Yes.
We all gas, no break. No, I'm kidding.
Pumped
No.
up. No
Uh-oh.
thanks. We swimming. We
Hey.
winning. We high stakes. We never miss. We've been we've been missing lately though, Mike.
Oh, shit. Okay. No team is safe when the Niners are on the prowl. That's Wayne, and I'm Mike.
Oh, he
and
changed it up.
this is No Harm, No Foul.
See you
We'll
next
see y'all
week.
soon.
Peace.